to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Ms. Jacqueline, can we do roll call, please?
Thank you, Chairman. Okay.
Wow, you're
Okay, I do. Chairman Dr. Bill Tollimer.
here.
Vice Chair Crystal Clark.
Present.
Stephen Brown.
Present.
Julie Hess Smith.
Here.
Dwayne St. Hill. Chrissy Jean.
Present.
And Councilman Jeff Amara.
Here.
Okay, the first order of business is to thank and present our wonderful Student Leadership Award to our favorite, happiest person in the whole world, Miss Chrissy Jean. And it says, to the Village of Royal Palm Beach, Certificate of Appreciation presented to Chrissy Jean. She is hereby recognized and applauded for the unselfish contribution of her time and dedicated service to the Village of Royal Palm Beach, serving on the Educational Advisory Board. Given with gratitude and heartfelt thanks this 13th day of May, 2019, by the Mayor of the Village of Royal Palm Beach, on behalf of the Village Council and all the citizens of the village. And we'll present this to Miss Chrissy Jean. Clap, this is a good clap, right? You are back. We need a picture, right? Do you have a picture of that? It's okay, we'll do that. I'll be good. And let me just, aside from all the mumbo jumbo, you have been the most wonderful and inspiring student that I've seen that we've had. And I've been on a number of these, and we just have loved your energy and all the great things you brought to our council. And the bar is set very high for the next one coming in. So I hope you're recruiting hard. She's going to do her report, and then she needs to go because she has another award banquet to go to probably, right? Okay.
Good evening, everyone. On March 27th, our executive board led a visit for the students of Crestwood Middle, giving them a tour of our school and environment on a regular school day. On March 28th, American Heritage High School hosted Anything Goes, which is a huge senior event like a field day where we were able to network and participate in a variety of different games and stations. On March 30th, all clubs and organizations on our campus attended our highly anticipated Relay for Life event at the fairgrounds. We were all able to raise money and support a great cause and have fun at the same time. To kick off the month of April, one of our favorite teachers, Ms. Boyd, won Teacher of the Year on April 15th. On the week of the 21st, students began campaigning for next school year's officer and student body positions. Elections took place Thursday, April 25th. The 25th was also our Custodian Appreciation Day. On the 26th, our seniors headed off to our highly anticipated Grad Bash trip, which was extremely fun. And on April 26th, our student council also headed to Spanish River High School for our annual county council banquet. And at this banquet, we did campaign for county council president, which I am proud to announce that we did win. So now Jaden Manuel will be a student representative on the school district meetings every month. We are now preparing for senior events leading up to our commencement ceremony on May 17th. Our first annual Scholarships and Stoves Night was a success. I am happy to see a lot of familiar faces there that night. And sadly, this is my last EAB meeting. It was an honor and a privilege to sit before you wonderful people and serve as a voice of the student body. This has empowered me to train and equip others in leadership. Thank you for always smiling, and it really means a lot to me, all of the nice things you guys say about me. And in September, you will meet the new student body president, and you guys will absolutely love him, and I know he'll enjoy serving you guys as much as I did. So thank you.
So, Christy, before you go, real quick, what's one takeaway? Give us one takeaway from your whole year that you'll take with you about your experience here on the Educational Advisory Board.
Just to see how well you guys speak and how you guys carry yourself, and that you guys really honestly care about us. Like, you guys care a lot about us. And I noticed that in Dr. Armis a lot. Like, he cares about our school so much to meet with us every month. President's Circle actually get to know us as students. Like, it really means a lot. And like the code reds and things, like how you guys take that serious. I really, really like that a lot.
Well, that's wonderful. Thank you for saying those nice things. And is Dr. Armis giving you more scholarship money for saying all those things?
No.
I just wanted to make sure. That's, you know. Well, thank you, dear. Enjoy your rest of your year. And anytime we can help you, anytime, references or anything, please let us know. We're happy to help you and keep us updated on what your success is.
Yes,
Okay?
I will.
All right,
you
Christy,
so
thank you.
much.
Well done. Okay, so next up is the Palms West Charter, and I wanted to say that I had a, I thought we had a picture. Somebody didn't get a picture?
Do a picture.
Well, I got a picture. Funny, the happiest place on earth wants the happiest person on earth to get a picture.
How appropriate.
How appropriate, right?
There we go.
There we go. Now look, I'm supposed to look like this all this time. But it's not around much more. You don't need the light is going to help me here.
Very nice.
Thank you very much. No, thank you. Appreciate it. Who knew there was this much happiness in the education classroom? It is amazing. Thank you, Principal Gallagher. So, to our Palms West Charter. I got a chance to visit and go through with the two absolutely fabulous administrators there and got to meet and be in a class. I can't wait to hear from crazy, wonderful professors. So, Steve, why don't you come show us about what you got going on and all the great things that are there and some of the great people you brought with you and students.
So let me just. That on it? You got it? Can't behave. Well, so good evening, board. So I'm gonna let, most of you have heard me talk enough, so I'm actually going to let one of our students, one of our parents, one of our staff members talk the most, and then I will close up. So I would first have one of our 8th grade, our class president, come up, and Anya, will share a few words that she has put together.
Good evening. I'm Evan Anya Anzano. I have 2 first names, but I prefer to be called Anya. I'm in 8th grade, and I go to school at Palms West Charter School. So, Merriam-Webster's dictionary definition of service is a contribution to the welfare of others. It sounds simple, right? Only, it's not. People who blindly participate in community service boast that they are contributing to society, when in fact, some of them have no true purpose or heartfelt intentions. When my family and I arrived in the United States from the Philippines in 2017, my one goal was to be successful at embracing my new culture. Little did I know that my focus would actually revolve around helping others. As Palms West Charter's first 8th grade class president, it's expected that I'd be involved in school functions. Only, it wasn't a criteria. I am also a member of the National Junior Honor Society, which serves to honor those students who have demonstrated excellence in the areas of scholarship, service, leadership, character, and citizenship. These are qualities that I didn't know I possess until I embraced them during a project that helped me guide my purpose. Out of all the ones that I helped out with, this one project was the most memorable. That project was what I'd like to call the story of an unsung hero. Basically, what happened was that a former teacher of the school found a bracelet that had a name, Captain Peter Grubb, and a date, September 17, 1967, that was engraved on it. The teacher, Coach P, recognized that the bracelet was from the Vietnam War era and did research on it and posted it on an MIA/POW website in hopes of uncovering a family member. A cousin of Captain Grubb, Mr. Brian Grubb, responded to the post. At that time, the bracelet was given to Mr. Camino, who was the service and civics teacher, as his classes were doing research on it. Fast forward to my 7th grade year and the last days of March, Mr. Camino told us this story, and a few days later, he asked me to write a book about it. I was reluctant to accept that honor. He was asking me to retell a legacy, and I knew eloquence that I strive to have was not what Mr. Camino was looking for. He was looking for a story of a hero who made the ultimate sacrifice for his country. In the end, I accepted the request, and thank God that I did. Before we gave the book and the bracelet to the Grubb family, I snuck a letter that was addressed to Miss Sharon Grubb, who is the sister of the captain. To be honest, I wasn't sure that she was going to respond to it, so when I received a letter 1 week before school started, I was surprised, delighted, and terrified. Did they like the book? Was it okay? Did they hate it? Did they... I don't know. Questions like those raised in my mind, and one by one, they all disappeared after I finished reading her letter. Feelings of nervousness went away as it was replaced by this indescribable emotion. And I can't say that it was just happiness, because it was more than that. It was the feeling of knowing that I helped someone. However, at that time, it was different. I never got the chance of seeing how people reacted or felt about the other projects that I helped out with. But with that letter, it was almost as if each sentence contained the raw emotion the Grubb family felt when they received the book and the bracelet. And now here's this video.
Anyway, we went on the news, and she's saying a whole bunch of stuff about it. We actually had, I'm ad-libbing here. So we actually had the news come out, and we had a live session with the Grubb family.
Oh, wow.
With the students in the room. So, and this was done during Memorial Day, and this all stemmed from a project that Anya started, and you can kind of see. I can actually share the link out with you guys, but they actually put this on the news, and like I said, it came out. And this all started between a teacher finding this bracelet, bringing it to another teacher, and the students wanting to do this for this family. So you can see our students in there. That's actually the cousin talking back and forth with our students. That's Anya. You couldn't tell. A little bit younger looking there. So we will move from there.
Thank you, Mr. Epstein. So on the first day of my 8th grade year, I had a new purpose. It wasn't just about grades and fitting in with everyone else anymore. I want to help others to the best of my abilities and as much as I could without failing my grades, of course. And then something came up last week during dismissal. Mr. Camino asked me to speak here about service, and I asked him, "What about service?" His reply was along the lines of something like this: "How much does service mean to you?" The moment he finished his sentence, I knew what I was going to speak about. Service means everything to me. Why? Because it helped me realize that I'm not going to spend the rest of my living days just seizing each and every academic opportunity. As I complain about not being able to fully embrace my new culture, I'm going to have something else in my mind, another purpose to focus on. But don't mistake it as something like a distraction, because it's more than that. I might not be able to fully express it in words about how much it means to me, but something I know that I can do is to express that through my actions. These are all the qualities that I found by being a part of the family at Palms West Charter School. Thank you for allowing me this opportunity to share my leadership experiences. Thank you.
Thank you, Anya. That was neat. Very special.
Well, by the way, Doc, she's coming your way. I'm just saying. So I just wanted to share that.
Is that her dad, Beto Steve? Is that her?
Yes.
I tell you what, you'd be really, really proud. That's a fine, fine young lady you've raised right there, and very proud to have her in our district. Well done, Anya. Very well done.
So with that, we have one of our parents that's going to come and share her experience with our school. So
Yes. Speaking of payments, this is good, Steve.
I will let her say what.
My name is Peta Watson, and I have two sons. One's 15 and one is 12. They both, one is currently out at Palms West in 7th grade. He's 12, Simon. And Ethan is 15, currently at Royal Palm in the STEM program there. And both of my children started this school when the school started, which is a little less than 6 years ago. And it was their third school and the perfect choice. My husband and I were concerned not just about them getting a good education, we were concerned about the environment that they would be in, the teachers, and that they would be challenged. All parents feel as if their children are, highly intelligent, but we recognized in our sons that they were, and that they needed to be challenged. And we were searching for a place like that, and that's what we found with Palms West. And even while they were in school, and to this day, the school continues to have various things such as the Cambridge program that they introduced probably about a year or so after the boys were in school. That was something that fed into Royal Palm High School, actually. And so I've been so proud and so happy to have our children there, from the principal, the vice principal. I've spoken to Ms. Gonda, who's the vice principal, personally. After I found out what high school requirements were there, I started early. I started in 7th grade to find out what was needed for 9th grade. And then I went to her and I was like, this is what we want for Ethan. And she's like, okay, let's see how we can work this schedule. And she even said to me, I wish more parents would do that. And I felt as if it was, we got to have an education and continue to have an education for our children that is customized to them, even though it is a public school. And another thing that I appreciate about the school is whenever we have leadership days or leadership ceremonies, which is what we call the days that the children who've done well in school, not just academically, but civically, they are recognized. And Mr. Epstein always tells us he's told us since they were in elementary, please keep this up when they're in middle and high school, please. That's when it usually falls off. And I think that has had an impact on me, and I know the other parents at the school, because we have a very good turnout every quarter when we have these events. I feel as if not Royal Palm, although Royal Palm, yes, because my son is in 9th grade there. Palms West is a home away from home for my children. I feel as if I can reach out to any of the staff members, not any, but the principal or my children's teachers at any time with any concerns, and they get back to me, and we've just had this sense of satisfaction and security of having our children at this school, and we feel as if it has contributed to our son's success, especially the one who is at Royal Palm, because he started Royal Palm with some high school credits already completed. And it's thanks to the school, and it's thanks to someone like this amazing teacher right here that I'm sure will have a lot to say. Just wanted to share that. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Watson. And I think that's, to everybody in this room, the leadership especially, this is what you wanted. You know, when you have seamless and you have choices and you have things you can do and you have success on both sides, this is one of the beauties of what we have here that sometimes we overlook. So, Ms. Watson, I appreciate you sharing both sides of that, because this is what we're trying to create here, and the leadership fights for every day to make sure it happens. So thank you. And who is this, Mr. Epstein?
My name is Joe Camino. And I was trying to keep it short. I was
got
told.
one slide.
But I came across something really interesting on my way here. It was a job fair flyer. And whoever wrote it did this wonderful job. Here's what they said. Palms West Charter School is a place where there exists a dogma to implement the concept that experiences in service to others provide strength, courage, and confidence to students who endeavor to undertake them. Academically, the belief is that character builds intelligence and involvement creates learning. It is striving for education of the mind and the heart. And that encapsulates pretty much what we're all about in our vision. We believe that service is not an added thing at our school. It's the driving force at our school. You heard Anna's story. And there are stories too numerous to tell you this evening. There are slide after slide after slide, from clothing drives to food drives to toys for children at Palms West Hospital, and on and on and on. These are ideas that the children come up with. And the hardest thing that I have to do is to tell them we can't do that, or we don't have time to do that, because there's so many other things that they want to do. They want to change the world, and we're helping them do that. We began about 5 years ago, really small, and not knowing where it would go, but thanks to the administration, who encouraged it and created a schedule that allowed for it, it has grown to phenomenal proportions. If I were to list the thousands of things, the thousands of people that have been affected by these children over the past 5 years, you wouldn't believe it. When I talk to other educators, family and friends, I have to show them pictures, because it's just unbelievable that kids from kindergarten to 8th grade all participate in activities such as this. Just this morning, we had a breakfast for our law enforcement officers here in Royal Palm Beach. The elementary kids made little notes and letters, place settings. The service classes made baskets and gifts and letters of thank you, and the administrators cooked them breakfast. And it's an amazing connection between school and community as a result of service. And so I'm very proud of what our school has done, and we're not done yet. Thank you.
Now, I have been in his classroom, and his classroom is it's a free-for-all of ideas. He challenges them. It was about teachers having guns in the classrooms. And it was true dialogue. It was very open. And the one thing you realize in that school is everything's student-centered. Nobody else does anything but the students. Everything is done by the students. So, Mr. Epstein, I want to thank you and Ms. Carter for faculty, of course, parents and students. It's you can see the leadership comes all the way through that. So thank you guys very much. Mr. Epstein, continue, please.
Yeah, the last slide, it just that gives our vision, and it's all about the whole child, and not only their academic achievement, but also their service in the community. Because when we look around the room, and we do, like I said, they're going to Royal Palm Beach High School. So we're trying to keep them locally, right? We're trying to keep them in our community. We're trying to keep, that strong in our community. I was raised here. I've been here for, 30 plus years. So this is my community, and I'm just humbled to be a part of the team. And so the team does all the work. The students, they do all the work. And, the principals at all the schools and the staffs at all the schools have the toughest jobs, dealing with everything that the world puts on and alone with just the students, right? So we really, really embrace that piece. So I just want to thank the board for allowing some examples to come up to just share. And, thank you to my colleagues that are in Royal Palm Beach, because we do collaborate really well in Royal Palm Beach, and we want to keep that K-12 continuum, that Dr. Armis is constantly talking about. So thank you again. Thank you for giving us the opportunity, and thank you to our families. That we can't do it without them. They're amazing, and our staff's amazing. So Ms. Gonda, all the way around, I'm just one, but together, that's what we're Manning. We're a true family there. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Prince Weinstein. Well done. Well done, guys. Well done. Another gem in our system. Another gem in our system. Speaking of gems in our system, we have Mr. Tierney's going to give us a report. And we want to congratulate him on his promotion to Chief of Staff, which we think he's a well-deserved. I'm taking a picture of him now, and then we'll see in 5 years how this looks.
Of course, every year.
Yeah.
Well, first, I'd like to compliment Palms West Charter School on a really interesting and uplifting brief. I thought it was outstanding, so well done. Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. I moved from Central Region to the district level. I look forward to maintaining a strong relationship with the Village of Royal Palm as the superintendent and school board. Marcia Andrews sends her regrets. She's at a graduation this evening that she just could not miss, but she called me on the way here to just ask me to pass on that sentiment. So she wishes she could be here as well, and I'm sure we'll be here next time. So in our district, the chief of staff role handles legislative affairs, and I came in kind of halfway through that, and that was really jumping into a firestorm. So that was an interesting thing to experience, and that kind of came on quick and was fast and furious while it lasted for the 61 or so days and now ended. So I'm just going to give a legislative wrap-up of kind of what happened, where we ended up, and then we'll start preparing for the next one in January in the coming weeks. So there were a lot of changes based on the election that occurred in November, and some of the names you'll be familiar with and some maybe less so. All the people that we're going to talk about here had really kind of major impacts on education in our state, and that really directly affects the county. So Governor DeSantis obviously is our new governor. He appointed Richard Corcoran and the Senate Education Chair, Manny Diaz, and then the new House Education Chair, Jennifer Sullivan. So Governor Santos came in with a platform of expanding school choice. He is very, very focused on school safety and also looking to increase funding throughout our state. And again, like it says, their legislative session took place March 5th to May 4th, 61 days. Very, very busy time. And 385 bills were filed. 38 actually reached the House or Senate floor. So our platform, the district's goals, we wanted to retain local control to the greatest extent we could. And actually, we expanded some of that. We were looking for the same level of accountability, district-run schools and charter schools. Of course, we're looking for more money and more decision-making regarding construction and the ability to build schools here. That was kind of a highlight of the platform. And then a teacher shortage throughout the state, the nation, looking for help from the state if there were going to be any to recruit and retain high-quality teachers. The legislative platform, I included a link there. I'll email you this presentation tomorrow, and the whole legislative platform is laid out there. So some of the highlights from the education budget, we saw a $75 base student allocation increase. That's the largest increase we've seen in 7 years. We were pleased for that. We're still not where we want to be, and we still would harken back to years ago, kind of getting back to where we were but we were pleased at least for the allocation increasing to the extent that it did. And then I said on that first slide, Governor DeSantis very focused on school safety, and you can see on highlight bullets or numbered 2 and 3, the Safe Schools allocation with a significant increase of $18 million, and then the mental health, and they really wisely are looking at the prevention, the hardening of facilities, and the mental health kind of co-equally by $5.7 million increase up to $75 million. So we saw a significant bump there. 2 decreases were not projecting a necessarily big negative impact on our district. And then we're still in the bottom 5 of the nation per pupil. Depends how you calculate it, but either way, we're still in the bottom 5. And I'll just clarify, the governor still needs to sign this. He's not signed it yet, so this is still projections, but this is where we are right now. So some of the notable education, 70-30, we just mentioned earlier, the law passed to participate, allows classroom teachers to participate in the Guardian program. That has to be approved by the school board. Our board adopted a resolution that would prohibit that. So while the state law allows it, Palm Beach County School Board is going to prohibit that through the resolution that they passed. SB 7070, that's Family Empowerment Scholarships. That's really funding students and families who want to move to an elementary school. Okay, there's a base minimum right now, $77,000 per year for the earnings that would qualify for a student, for the family, and that is going to increase over to about $97,000 in the next coming year. So that the minimum income is going to increase. That's just going to expand people's ability to choose schools. Okay, and then that's going to expand an ever-increasing voucher program in the nation. So overseeing that is we're still going to watch that closely on how that money will, if it flows from the system, how that will impact us. And then that last bullet, this was a good highlight, allows for more local decision-making authority regarding new construction. They really took a lot of the shackles off the school board's ability to build new schools and some of the mechanics that had to be done to approve, so we were pleased with that. 7123, if you may have seen the news, I'm sure you did, going back and forth on does charter schools share that money or not, and for this instant, the vote, we would say the will of the voters was upheld. Basically, the vote with the language that was used in the ballot is going to be upheld for the next 4 years. Incoming referenda that there will not be permitted to separate district-run schools and charter schools. We don't anticipate, unless something changes, being able to do that again. However, we kind of lobbied hard, the will of the voters. They voted on specific language, and we're going to ask them to uphold that. That will change, though, for the next time. And then 7071, apprentice programs, alternate paths to graduation is mostly around that. We break this down. We have kind of a homework assignment sheet. There's about 5 pages of nuanced portion of these bills that we're farming out to staff. Staff is going to look it up, research it, and then brief executive cabinet. So we're still working through some of the nuances of some of these. And these are just some of the things that did not pass. Colleges and universities authorizing new charter schools without school board approval. There was some talk about making the Florida Commission of Education an elected position, prohibiting the practice of conversion therapy, prohibiting corporal punishment, installing water filters in all public schools built before 1986, and limiting the school board terms to 12 years. So with the understanding that we're still kind of delving into some of these and doing homework on those, I'll try to answer any questions the best I can if there are any.
What's the mood, Ed? What kind of theme are they trying to go for? I mean, the mental health and safety has been an issue, of course, right?
Yeah.
But what do you see the overarching kind of thought process from DeSantis all the way down? What do you think?
From the state or from here?
From the state. Let's look at the state first.
I think, credit to increasing the base student allocation.
Yep.
It's up. Credit for the focus on school safety. And I think there's wisdom in looking not only at police, law enforcement, hardening facilities, but also the support through mental health. So yeah. I think you got to give pretty good marks on that. And we're going to have more guidance counselors. We're going to have more mental health behavior therapists. We're certainly going to have police like we knew. So, I think in fairness would have to rate that pretty high as good news and fair and wise. There's just going to be the constant kind of ebb and flow of the dollars for students staying in the system or, kind of leaving to charter schools, to public schools through vouchers, and that I think is going to be a theme of the next couple of years. And I just see that I don't think either side is going to say the other side's right. So I anticipate a lot of the disagreements will be around money and where that money's going.
Yeah, and are there abilities within this system? You talk about taking the shackles a little bit off. Locally, we've got a pretty darn good system here in terms of how you manage charter schools and how the schools go here. Do we have an ability to kind of work that a little more, to have a little more control over what's here, or is it just a one-size-fits-all and that's what they want?
Concerning what? Can you specify?
Well, I mean, if you can do consortiums locally and then do some things with who makes a decision on funding and some of the pieces that come through your existing here in your own little niche, are you allowed to do that? Is there room for that? Is somebody thinking creatively enough to let that happen, or
regarding
what?
the charter versus district school balance?
Yeah.
I think we're going to see the same purpose. The school board is looking for charter schools that will fill a niche, that will help a community, and there's a track record of approving that. So I think they're going to still look along that way, and then try to support the district-run schools where the charter school wouldn't offer an alternative or a niche kind of service.
Because this piece that they keep talking about up here with the sports administration and some of that, those are just pieces they'll just parcel out once they look at decision making each time they apply. Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody else any questions? Mr. Tierney here? Yes, ma'am.
I have a question about allocating funding for new construction.
Okay.
If we have so many schools in our community, Royal Palm per se, wouldn't it behoove us more to allocate funding for schools to revamp the schools that we already have here as opposed to allocating to build new ones?
Yeah. It's a good question, and it's a regular topic of conversation in executive cabinet. Is at what point do you invest in existing structures, and at what point does it make more financial sense to build new ones? And that's, that goes beyond, kind of the one, because building a new school will generally affect 3 or 4 other schools, because it's just dominoes. You move some and then move some and move some. So, what I can say about that is that the superintendent, the chief operating officer, the school board is regularly discussing and reflecting on the wisdom of investing versus the wisdom of building new. And the nuance of that conversation, leads me to see that they're really kind of smart people who are very concerned with being good stewards of tax dollars on the best way to spend it and how to get the best returns for communities.
I can tell you, I was in Texas, Frisco, city of Frisco. They built 12 high schools in 1 year.
They really? Wow.
Because of the growth that's coming. And they can't find teachers. They can't do anything. It's a disaster. And half of them aren't full yet. And it just was not a well thought out plan.
Yeah, finding
but boy,
teachers is tough.
They're the most beautiful things you've ever seen.
I don't doubt it. Yeah. Finding teachers is a constant source of.
Well, and I like to see what you did.
Yeah.
That they've got 3 years to make that certification instead of 1.
Yeah.
There's some things that'll help retain and get some of these people that can teach that,
Absolutely.
just need some educational background. That's all, some pedagogy, yeah. Thank you, sir, for coming all this way. Sure appreciate you.
Great to see
I'm
everybody.
sorry, Crystal has a question real quick. I'm sorry.
What's the status on the Common Core? Any changes?
There has not been a thing said about that in a couple months. So my guess is that the legislative session was so consuming to everybody, so there has been nothing. So we have a team, we're business as usual for next year and preparing. We have a team ready to start analyzing anything new that comes out and move quickly on that. But I've not heard a word about it in the last 2 months.
No money attached to it.
There never is. That's why it's called legislation. It's language without money attached to it. This is what happens.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it,
Thank you.
sir. Very much. Thank you very much. Well done. Our central region.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Great evening.
Yes, it is. So I bring you greetings this evening on behalf of the Central Regional Superintendent, Dr. Frank Rodriguez. As many of you may have heard, we've been very busy in the Central Region, and our superintendent, Dr. Rodriguez, has been named the new superintendent of Beaufort County Schools. And it's very bittersweet, but we're excited for Dr. Rodriguez as he embarks upon this new journey and continues to represent Palm Beach in South Carolina. I spoke with him today on the phone. He's not here this evening because he and his family traveled to Beaufort over the weekend, and they were on their way back. And he wanted me to share this message with you, so I captured it. And that's a direct quote from Dr. Rodriguez, and it reads, "Thank you for your support and commitment to ensure our students receive a world-class education." So if you don't mind, can we just give him a round of applause in his absence?
How far is he going to be from the beach? That's what I need to know. I think there's ulterior.
I think he's going to be really close to the beach.
That's what I think so too. Okay.
So again, thank you to all of our principals here tonight, representing the outstanding schools that we have here in the village of Royal Palm Beach. And we'll start with some exciting things that are happening at Cypress Trails Elementary School, home of the Lions, where Principal Bruce Salter is our leader. At Cypress Trails, they are getting ready to celebrate 30 years during the 2019-2020 school year. They will celebrate their 30th anniversary, and they're having a planning meeting May 20th. There will be two meetings, one at 3:00 p.m. and one at 6:00 p.m. So if you would like to participate in this planning meeting, maybe you were a parent at Cypress Trails Elementary School when they opened 30 years ago, maybe you were a teacher, but if you would like to support them in this great event, please contact Mr. Salter at 561-904-9000. Also at Cypress Trails Elementary, they are recognizing several third grade students. In third grade at Cypress Trails Elementary School, the students participated in an online competition to review for both the math and the reading. So congratulations to these students that were recognized for their hard work. H.L. Johnson Elementary. Mrs. Mikowski is absent tonight, but they are sharing the great things that they have going on over at H.L. Johnson Elementary School. Wow. H.L. Johnson Elementary School had a pep rally that involved the cheerleaders and the band from the high school. They have a great partnership with Royal Palm Beach Community High School. And the teachers and students in 3rd through 5th grade were encouraged to get involved. In fact, I think you see some teachers there performing as well. So they had a great time getting excited, getting motivated to tackle this test. Now they didn't invite me to the pep rally, but I was there for Arbor Day. And it was awesome to see the parents out working in the garden. I mean, this was facilitated by parents. And this is one of our schools that when I tell you they have a group of parents that work extremely hard, their parents work extremely hard. Mrs. Mikowski and I were visiting classrooms, and they were out in the garden with the teachers working with our students. So with the assistance of our PTO and parent volunteers, students planted plants in their grade level gardens, put down mulch and garden borders. Money donated from the village was used to purchase a magnolia tree for the front of the school. Royal Palm Beach Elementary School, where Ms. Tracy Gogler is our principal. Great things are happening there as well. I guess I'm a little biased, just a little. Royal Palm Beach Elementary School, April Spring Bunny Breakfast. The Bobcat families enjoyed a pancake breakfast at Applebee's restaurant April 20th. And we had Mrs. Gogler, and we also had our assistant principal, as well as teachers and families.
You never run for public office.
That's called supporting our students. We'll do anything to support our students, supporting our students. So Also at Royal Palm Beach Elementary School, they have something exciting going on tomorrow, May 14th at 9:00 a.m. It is going to be their second annual graduation parade. The current seniors from our local high schools that were former students of Royal Palm Beach Elementary and their families have been invited back. And I tell you, I was there last year and it was an absolute treat. All of the students came in, the high school students, and when they came in, they were smiling as they marched through the hallways. By the time they came back out, they were all crying. They were all in tears. And it was just amazing to watch. So if you have time tomorrow, I'm extending an invitation to you on behalf of Mrs. Gogler. Royal Palm Beach Community High School, where Dr. Jesus Armis is the principal, and I'm sure he'll be up later and share some additional things going on over there because we have a very big day coming up for the high school. Royal Palm Beach Community High School, good news. I'm going to change that. This is great news. Royal Palm Beach Community High School, Daniela Boyd, Palm Beach County, our school district's Teacher of the Year. That's a huge honor. We have more than 12,000 teachers, here in the school district of Palm Beach County, and she is the Teacher of the Year. I think we deserve to give her a round of applause in her absence as well. And I'll let Mr. Armis tell you what she did because and maybe you've seen it on the news, but it really touched and warmed my heart. Royal Palm Beach Community High School, great news again. County Council President Jaden Manuel for 2019-2020. Dr. Otto von Feigenblatt received the decoration, you're trying me here, Vicente Rocafuerte for Education Award from the National Assembly of the Republic of Ecuador. Royal Palm Beach High School's Engineering Academy wins first place in the school district SECME Science Olympiad. Royal Palm Beach High School student Sierra Latouche becomes semifinalist in the National Shakespearean Performance Competition. Royal Palm Beach High School also raised almost $7,000 for the Western Communities Relay for Life. That is a huge celebration. Huge celebration. And the day that Christy has been waiting on, and all of the other students at Royal Palm Beach Community High School and at all of the high schools across Palm Beach County, they're finally here. But for Royal Palm Beach Community High School, Friday, May 17th is the day. And that's all the news that I have on behalf of the Central Region, on behalf of Dr. Frank Rodriguez, our regional superintendent. He would like for me to wish you a very happy summer. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Quinn. I appreciate that very much. Dr. Rodriguez is not allowed to send us beach pictures. I'm letting you know that right now. Principals, Bruce, you want anything else to share on top of that?
No, just if you have anyone that you know of that went to Cypress Trails, anyone in the community, just please come. You don't have to contact me if you have any questions. You can, or maybe you can't make it but want to be kept in the loop in the fall next year. Come by the school 3 o'clock or 6 o'clock next Monday.
Yeah, that'll be a great thing for sure. Great, what a great event.
Looking for community partnerships. Really want to try to work on the beautification of the outside.
Yeah, great. Legacy and everything, sure. Tracy, how about you?
Just tomorrow to repeat, the graduation parade really is like my favorite event of the year.
Yeah.
I know you've heard me say that before. We will have all of our students with pom-poms in the hallway, all the teachers and staff, and it really is, like, I can't wait. I know I'm not going to sleep tonight. I can't wait until tomorrow morning. So please come by if any of you are available.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's a novel idea. It's a great way to connect all the way, between me understanding high school graduation's a goal for mine as an elementary student, and then them coming back and giving back to the school. That's great.
See some of the a lot of the students will bring their families that we haven't seen for 5 or 6 years. So it's amazing to just get to see everybody
Sure.
and visit all the teachers.
Amazing. Amazing, amazing. Steve, anything else from you? You're out. Yeah. Everybody who talked for you already left, so you
Steven?
can't talk.
Family Fun Day?
Yes, Chairman, I was just gonna say, the one thing that we didn't share is Saturday, we're having a community open family fun day. It's free to anybody in the community.
10 to 2, right?
It's 10 to 2 on Saturday.
Okay.
So we will have bounce house food. We've partnered up with some organizations. We have some raffles out there, but one of our partners also has a homemade ice cream machine coming in.
Ah.
Do you like ice cream, Jeff? I heard you like ice cream.
I want to see you in the bounce house. That's my whole thing. That'll be worth the price of admission there for sure.
With the wings.
Right. What about HL? HL Johnson, anything else you have?
He's not here.
Oh, they're here. Okay. Dr. Armas, how about you?
Yes, thank you. Can I just say that, first of all, with Ed leaving and with Frank leaving, they've left Vivian by herself in that central office, and she's done a great job. We haven't felt any less support from the central office, so we thank Vivian for her great work there and kind of holding down the fort throughout this time. And she really has done a great job there. Them and the entire staff, and they're actually down a team leader too, so they're down 3 people, and so they really are doing great work. And as far as that goes, I think sometimes the work of the central office is kind of lost on people because we focus on the schools. And just want to say that, Ed was with us for 2 years as overseeing Royal Palm Beach High School, did a great job, a lot of great advice along the way and much support. And we did good work, and a lot of it was thanks to him. So we appreciate Ed's work. And Frank is the Central Region Superintendent for 5 years. Different title, but nevertheless, he was over for 5 years. And a lot of the successes that we've had at Royal Palm Beach High School had a lot to do with his support. We wouldn't have the IB program today if it wouldn't be because of Frank Rodriguez. And so that's just one example. That's like the high-profile example, but that's one of them. And he's done a great job. And it's not the beach. He's going over there to try to play golf. It's in Hilton Head area, yeah, And if you've seen Frank play golf, they're in trouble. Yeah. Make sure I already told him that. So
they won't let him on the course.
Yeah. The teacher of the. By the way, today's my mom's birthday, and one parent was talking about every parent thinks that their child is brilliant. My mother thinks so. She thinks I'm brilliant, and I just. Yeah, they all do. So the teacher of the year, and what Vivian was alluding to, was the fact that as a teacher of the year, one of the perks that you get is that you get a 2-year lease from Brayman BMW. And so she was set to receive that, but instead she paid it forward, and they came up with some gimmick, and where they drew the name out of the hat, and one of the people who was nominated but didn't win actually got the lease. She gave the lease up. Yes. That's the kind of person that she is.
Or does she have a BMW already?
No. Believe me or not, that's the kind of person she is. She's got a servant's heart. She really does in every way. Just an outstanding person and human being. And she happens to be a great teacher. Of course, I told her it was a cheap publicity stunt, that she could have given it to her principal, but she didn't. And then the last thing is, yes, commencement is this Friday at 7 p.m. You're all invited, so you just need to let me know before we leave, because I got your tickets, if you're going to be there.
Where do we go, Dr. Armas? So it means there a parking area, or is there?
No, unfortunately not. Yeah, well, you'll just have the ticket, and you'll kind of go through, and then once you do, you kind of come towards the stage.
Okay.
And then we take care of you then, right?
Okay.
Councilman Hamara, that's about how you do it every year? Yeah.
Okay.
And then once, no, but he's been there every year. And so he kind of knows it. I don't know it because I'm in the back, and so I really don't know. But we have reserved seating for you up front, so you just come up front and that. Although that is a good line. He may be the usher. Yes, that was very good. By the way, by the way, Jen had you guys farming while she was just checking in on classrooms. Is that right? Is that what she did? At the garden thing, so yeah, commencement is Friday, and of course you're all welcome. And then since it's our last meeting, we certainly appreciate all the work that you guys do and support us. Appreciate how you treat Chrissy. She it meant a lot to her, and so we certainly appreciate you taking care of her too. So thank you very much, and have a great summer.
Thank you, Dr. Thank you. For sure. Thank you. And we have a representative from Palm Beach State, right?
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you and welcome, please.
Good evening, everyone. Great evening. My name is Stephen Joyner, and I'm the new Executive Dean at the Loxahatchee Groves campus of Palm Beach State College. I just wanted to take a moment to come by and introduce myself, to invite you all to come visit our campus. If you don't know, our campus is the youngest of the 5 Palm Beach State College campuses. We opened in spring of 2017 with about 700 students, and just 2.5 years later, we have about 3,000 students. So we're experiencing some really fast growth. We have a new second building that's scheduled to go up. It'll be about 80,000 square feet. So we invite you to come by. I'm very interested in learning all I can learn from you guys to see how we can support you and the amazing work that you're doing in K through 12. And then to also learn how we can be better prepared for your students when you send them to us. We are big into dual enrollment and any other types of partnerships. You mentioned some service efforts for the front of your school. If there's a way that our students can get involved to do service projects and that type of thing, I would love it. So I have some cards. I'm happy to partner with you guys in any way we can.
So can you share a little bit about the 30-30, that they get the 30 credits in high school and then they can go?
Oh, sure.
Please, it's a wonderful program.
So I think, if I'm not mistaken, what you're referring to is when students use their high school credits or taking dual enrollment classes, they will often graduate with their high school diploma and their associate's degree at the same time. I'm coming into this role from Miami-Dade College, and last year we had about 190 students that finished high school. They received their associates the week before they received their high school diploma. And so then they entered into their college experience at the junior level.
Is that the one where, I thought there was one where if you brought 30 to Palm Beach State from high school, then was there an initiative out there they were going to pay for the extra 30? That Palm Beach State was a scholarship for that 30? I thought I heard that.
I don't know, but I can.
I need you to say it out loud on TV so that way I can hold you to it.
I will certainly find out.
Yeah, would you, if you don't mind? Yeah, I'd love to come see the campus.
Yeah, please
I've been
come by.
part of 3 national P through 20 curriculums, where they go all the way through the elementary to the college level, and it's an amazing thing how much alignment you get through the faculty.
Yeah, perfect. And we're building pathways into our programs, into career, right into workforce. So, again, any way we can partner with you guys, we'd love to do it. So.
Well, you're more than welcome to our meetings. We'd happy to have the representative. It's just like I said, you see, it's a wonderful group, and we're very excited you came today. Thank you for sharing your time. Yeah. And I believe that Bruce is already going to take your card. You're going to take him up on it, Bruce? Thank you again. I appreciate your time. So anybody else have anything they want to share real quick? Nope, 7 o'clock, so we need to get to the old business, right? Let's approve our meeting minutes. I need a motion to approve the minutes from last month on March 4th. Crystal says, and I need a second. Second, Steve, it's okay. Any new business from anyone on the board? No? Okay. Couple things I want to thank you for, just giving all your time, energy, and effort into our school systems, and really, this is tough on everybody. Volunteer is part of what we do in our community, so I want to thank my colleagues here for all they've done for us and for our school systems to come visit and all the great things. I really want to thank Jeff Hamera, because Councilman Hamera, you've had a vision for this group, and I think this first year has been a real win-win. I think you've got some great things going on, and you are the most active retired man that I know in life, and be it an usher or whatever you do. But I want to thank you for your vision and, certainly guiding us to where we need to do. The culmination of the scholarships was a major thing for us. It was, got to see the young people, and it was amazing how much amazing students we have here. So this summer, we have to make sure you have a good summer. We'll be back in August to plan. And we also want to thank Jacqueline Davey, who does everything, keeps everybody in line and makes sure everybody has what we need, right? Everybody has one that runs the place, and she's basically the boss. unpaid boss from our side, but thank you, Jacqueline, appreciate all that. Councilman O'Meara, do you want to share anything before we?
Well, I do. First of all, thank you all. Really appreciate it. You've made a huge difference and added tremendously to what was a growing and continues to grow as an excellent relationship between the village and also our schools. And our schools are made up of all of the schools that are within our boundary. And I think the appreciation of that just continues to grow. And I'm excited about, looking forward to next year. I think it'll be fantastic. But before you all leave, we have a job for you. This Thursday at our 6:30 council meeting, we will do the culminating activities, actually, of the scholarships, which is the actual presentation of not just the scholarship, but the $1,000 checks to 10 of Royal Palm Beach students graduating high school this year. Those individuals that you all selected after a process of screening and then ultimately the interviews, which were fascinating. It's always an amazing experience to listen to the graduating seniors talk about their futures. And this year, the way we'll do it actually is kind of a repeat of last year. And that will be we will begin by me reading each individual recipient's name, then followed by one of you all reading their biographical sketch, which outlines some of their accomplishments, which are absolutely amazing. And then the mayor gets to actually deliver the money. So that will be the process that we'll go through for all 10 students. I understand one of them won't be able to make it, but 9 out of 10 is pretty good. And we'll still read the bio for the individual who has a conflict. And so I thank you all once again for the great job that you've done this year. I'm looking forward to next year and continuing to build on this relationship between the village and its schools, which are such a critical part of who we are here in Royal Palm Beach. So anybody have any questions for me about Thursday evening? 6:30 is when we kick off the meeting, and that will be, I think, right after the Pledge of Allegiance. That will be the first activity that we will undertake. So appreciate you all participating in that as well.
I hope they run as efficiently as we do here, that's all I'm saying. Yes, ma'am.
How do the funds for the scholarships, how does that come about?
That is actually part of our budget every year. We allocate $10,000 for the purpose of recognizing and the scholars who are graduating from Royal, that is, who are residents of Royal Palm Beach, some of whom graduate from Royal Palm Beach High School, some from other schools. And it's a way for the village to support the schools. And of course, hopefully some of those young folks will, once they complete whatever follow-on education they're going to be involved in, will come back and be the citizens of the future here in Royal Palm Beach.
Have we, has the council ever considered asking people who want to, developers or business people who want to do business with the city, to donate to that?
No, we have focused on the resources available to us directly. Not sure that would be an appropriate solicitation on our part.
Well,
it might set up a conflict of interest in one way or another doing that. It certainly is an opportunity that any business, Chamber of Commerce, individual businesses, groups of businesses could certainly weigh in on.
So you just have to couch that in.
Opportunity.
Well, the reason I ask is because a lot of these cities have the, what do they call it, the art in public places thing, where they require the businesses to do a piece of art, so.
Okay.
It's an investment into the city. When you invest into
She's just thinking outside the box. I like the way you're doing.
Absolutely. I understand what you're saying. It's something worthwhile considering. Okay.
And part of that is because there were so many students, only given 10 was just, it was almost criminal on our part because it was like every one of them was amazing. You know, it's just they just have so much to give, and so that's why we're looking for opportunities. You know, so I appreciate you thinking outside the box, Crystal. You made Jeff a little squeamish, but that's okay. That's always a good thing. Okay, everybody, let's adjourn. Have a great summer. And again, Dr. Arms will see you on Friday. And everybody else, thank you again, Palm Beach State. And then in the morning, there you go, graduates at the elementary school.
What time is the council meeting?
Thank you, Ed.
6:30.
And is it here?
Yep.